Hi friends, welcome to Harmony Hills Home and Garden. I'm Jenny and we're gardening here with the bugs in Baltimore, Maryland, Zone 7. Today I am out behind our backyard, behind our fence, behind the evergreen screen that we've planted next to our neighbor's driveway, and I'm getting ready to put some native plants into the ground to add some beauty and bring pollinators into this part of the garden. Come with me and let's see what we're doing. We're back here behind our fence, and this area used to be filled with huge 100-foot tall elm trees? Ash trees. Not sure which one they were, I can't remember. One or the other. And so now it's kind of wild and woolly, and we've got some weedy shrubs growing back in that we need to get out. But mainly today's project is to plant some perennials back here. Let's take a look at what we're putting into the ground. I have one quart-sized container of Echinacea purpurea, just plain old purple coneflower, and I may divide it into smaller clumps, I may not. So just one of those. I have two of these butterfly bushes. These are Prince Charming butterfly bushes. These grow to be 3 to 4 feet tall and wide, I think. Is that right? Oh no, yeah, 5 feet tall and 6 feet wide, 6.5. There we go. So 5 by 6. And then I have 3 baby Joe pie weeds to put in here. And the area that we have, let's take a look at that. Okay, I'm standing on the neighbor's driveway right now, just so that we can see this whole garden space. There's the gate that goes into our backyard. This is a Cryptomeria japonica tree that we planted this spring. And there are 2 others, one right there and one right there on the inside of the fence. Then we have 4 of these skip laurels that are planted here around this pole, utility pole. This is a weedy shrub that I can take out if I want, as with all of this. This is all weeds that can come out. I have 2 China Girl hollies here that I planted earlier this spring, but everything on this side of them is weeds, so we can get rid of that if we want. And then we have 3 Leyland cypresses that we planted this year. Those are staying. And this weed that you see down there on the corner of the fence, that is, I believe, pokeweed, and that needs to come out. And then there's this mass of shrubby, woody material. I don't know what it is, but it's not bothering anything right now, so it can stay. But in the long term, that'll probably come out. Down in this area behind the Leyland cypress up against our driveway, there are some native ditch lilies, daylilies. There's some phlox, and just various weeds, ivy, vinca, things like that. So I'm going to be putting the 2 butterfly bushes, I think one of them kind of like right here, and the other one kind of between these 2. And then the Joe Pye weed, probably, let's say we'll put the Joe Pye weed right up in here. And then the purple coneflowers, I guess we'll put in here somewhere. Oh, I do have some hostas in here, but the deer eat them, so it's not really great placement for them. But I do have 1, 2, 3, 4 hostas, and then back in there amongst all that weedy stuff, there are hostas as well. But the deer eat them, so it's a problem. We do have deer walking through here all the time, all 4 seasons. They love to munch on the grass and clover in our neighbor's front yard and take sips out of their pond with the fountain over there. And they walk along here and they browse on everything in our outside fence area. So everything I plant here today is deer resistant, so it will do well here. Other than that, this is a pretty easy planting job today. I'm just going to get after it and get it done. All right, you might be able to see that this area here is all shredded bark. This is wood that got ground out when they ground the stumps of the big 100-foot tall trees. So the mulch here is really deep, and over time it will decay, but I just kind of have to plant the butterfly bushes kind of down in here in a little well. I'm reaching down here to try to find the native soil, but it's pretty far down, so that's what I have to work with, so that's what we're doing. I'm using plant tone fertilizer in the hole. I want this to touch some native soil down there, but it's way down there, so I'm gonna just cross my fingers and hope that these do all right here. Cover them up a little bit, but not too deeply. All right, I've changed my mind. I'm not going to put 2 right here. I'm going to put the other one up on the other side. All right, well, I got some of this weed out of here, but this isn't what I came out here to do today. I'm going to get my other plants in the ground, tackle these a different time. Where do I want the Joe Pye weed? I think I'll put them right across here. Let me get rid of this weed tree, whatever it is. I don't know if this is roots coming off of the old trees or if this is some sort of garden plant that took over or what. It's definitely very strong roots, so I'm thinking it might be new growth off of the old tree. Phew, this is more of a job than I was counting on. Big root there, so I'm just moving away from it. All right, this is the baby Joe Pye weed, Eupatorium dubium. And this tag says they get to be 2 to 3 feet wide and tall. They may grow bigger than that if left unchecked. So I'm going to spread them 3 feet apart so that they can grow together into a nice clump. And probably, well, depending on what the roots under here look like, see if I can make a triangle shape of them kind of in here. Joe Pye weed is a wonderful native plant in North America. It grows wild in a lot of regions, but it's especially known on the prairies and wildflower fields. And it wants full sun. It's going to get part sun here, full morning sun and mostly afternoon shade, but hopefully it'll still take hold and do well. This particular version is bred to be short, so it doesn't so overwhelm a home landscape. And it has pretty mauvish, purplish, pinkish flower bracts on the top of the stems when they grow, about 3 feet tall, 2 to 3 feet tall. And so it'll be a nice pollinator attractor for this garden. That's the plan anyway. All right, I wanted to go right here. Let's see what happens. Big root. All right, so let me take it this way a little bit. Before we had the trees taken down, this whole area was covered with wild brush, English ivy that had taken over the trees, which is actually why we had to have them taken down. And so there's, under all this mulch, there's still English ivy. And so that's what this is. We've been trying to kill it off little by little. English ivy is definitely an invasive species in Maryland. It has taken over mature trees in so many places, killing off the native trees and the mature trees in old neighborhoods like ours. It's a real shame. All right, and now purple coneflower. All right, I have the one quart-sized can of purple coneflowers that I want to put in here. I think I'm just going to leave it as one can. It'll be healthier that way. Since I don't have really great soil here, all I have is this really deep mulch. So I'm going to let it be a plant on its own, but then I will plan on filling up kind of this whole area from about here down to about, say here, about 6 or 8 feet worth, about 2 feet wide, with purple coneflowers over the course of the coming season, probably next spring. I might start from seed over the winter, maybe in February or so, start some seeds and try to grow some that way to fill in this spot inexpensively. But for now, I'm going to just center this one can on these 2 hollies right here. Okay, so there's a lot of those weedy shrubs / trees that are coming up from old roots under here, and I'm not be able to get them all today. I'll have to come back and make that another project, and maybe I'll bring a helper with me to do that job. But for now, I've got the 3 Joe Pye weeds, the 2 butterfly bushes, and the 1 echinacea planted in here. And so it's turning into, slowly but surely, sort of a wildflower garden, native garden, something that the deer won't bother, something that will beautify this property from the point of view of our neighbor's driveway, so that we're good neighbors. And also the benefit is that the pollinators that come to visit these butterfly bushes and this Joe Pye weed and this echinacea will be in the neighborhood of my other plants that are on the other side of the fence. And so hopefully they'll come in for this stuff and stick around for the other stuff that I have on the other side of the fence that they will enjoy as well. So that's what I've got for you today, friends. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed what you saw. If you have any suggestions for me of things that I could do back here, I'd love to hear them. I'm always open to new ideas about plants or shrubs that can go into the various spaces in my yard. I hope to see you again in another video very soon, and I hope you have a wonderful day in your garden. Have a good one, friends. Bye-bye.